up, readers and shakers? It's your girl, Rhonda M. Lawson, sending you a personal invite to the Literary Lounge. Tune in to Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the best in literary conversation. Each week, a different author will join us to talk to their most important readers, you. You can also call in to ask your own questions. So don't forget, each Wednesday at 7 p.m., join us in the lounge for Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. See you there.
Hi, I'm Linda Lewis with Lewis Armstrong Family Services here live at New Orleans Talk Network. We're here every Thursday at 11 a.m. Come join us. Thank you.
And shakers, it's your girl, Rhonda M. Lawson, sending you a personal invite to the Literary Lounge. Tune in to Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the best in literary conversation. Each week, a different author will join us to talk to their most important readers, you. You can also call in to ask your own questions. So don't forget, each Wednesday at 7 p.m.
I'm going to quickly grab some water. Is that okay?
Okay.
This on Facebook as well?
Yes. Hey, we are back, and it is a new episode of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. I am your hostess with the mostest, Miss Rhonda M. Lawson, and I am super excited to be with you today. First of all,
conversation about the hair. This is going to be my Los Angeles hair. So normally, I rock the afro, but the afro just wasn't doing right the last couple of days. So I decided I was going to change it up a little bit. And I'm always going to be team natural. I'm never going back to what we call the creamy crack. I'm never going back to that. But every once in a while, I like to try a little something different. So you've probably seen this one before.
I can't hear anything, by the way.
Okay. You've probably seen this one before, but I'm just changing it up a little bit. But you might hear this very, very excited young lady in my background who is ready to get started. Danny, can you hear me? Danny? Danny can't hear me.
Yes, it's very faded. Yeah, I can just hear you, just little bits.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and keep on talking while our producer fixes that sound issue. But just wanted to let you know that we are ready to get started. I'm super excited to be here today.
I can't hear you at all, Rhonda. I can't hear you. It's kind of going in and out. It's really bad.
Okay, Danny. I'm just doing the intro to the show right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I can hear you.
Okay. But we're excited to get started today, and so is Danny. We have with us all the way from the United Kingdom, Miss Daniela Bleckner, who has written a really awesome book called Mr. Wrong. And I read a few excerpts from the book, and I'm like, man, I think I have dated every man in this book. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like we have these issues all over the world. So I was really excited to see a book like this come out of the United Kingdom. So, of course, I had to get Danny onto the show. But I think Danny's not able to hear us very well. So let's go ahead and check her out. Danny, can you hear us?
Just little bits. I just had the last bit. Hello.
Okay, well, I think Tarek is actually still working on the sound issue, but what I'll do is, because we can hear you very well, so let's go ahead and start. Can you tell us a little bit about Mr. Wrong? What made you decide to write a book like this?
What made me decide to write a book was the question?
Right, what made you decide to write a book called Mr. Wrong?
Okay, what made me decide to write a book called Mr. Wrong? Wow, okay, where should I start? I've always wanted to write. As soon as I was about, I think, 4 or 5 years old, I always said, I'm going to be an author. I knew words I don't even know now. And my first book was going to be a children's book. I had this great idea for this trilogy. And it came about from my own, experiences in relationships and with men. And I used to kind of tell my friends, obviously, my dating life, as you do as females. And they say to me, Dan, like, how are you meeting these people? Why is this stuff happening to you? Like, what's going on? And then I remember saying, look, if I meet one more, I'm going to write a book. I met one more. But I mean, I thought, I've said it now, I have to do it. But I think I was writing from an empowered place. I was writing from a place of really wanting to self-discover what it is about, our belief systems that create the same situations again, because I'm very much a believer that, if we keep on attracting the same sort of circumstance, the same sort of situation, the same sort of person, the same sort of man into our lives, we start looking within. It's called Mr. Wrong, as you can see here. And I wanted to, document the different kind of Mr. Wrong characters I'd met. So you've got the Mr. Dreamer character, Mr. Serial Liar, all different types. Mr. Lucai, the guy with the 360, eye looking all around.
I
put a call out to women. I said, look, you know what? I would never have done this about 10 years ago. I said, look, my name is Daniela Bleckner. I have had a decade of dating disasters. Am I alone here, women? Come on. I keep meeting this type of guys. Is it just me? Come on, let's talk about this. And I was getting all these, stories from women from all over America, Australia, the UK, Jamaica, telling me their stories. And I also got success stories and stories from men too, which really helped me to see the other side. And, do men get a bad rap? What role do women play? So it's really just an exploration into has funny, witty dating disaster stories, but also quite powerful, poignant stories of overcoming things like abuse. But the second half is about discovering, journaling within and finding out what it is within us that we need to let go of and release.
Yeah, and
So that really is why I wrote Mr. Wrong.
that's actually was going to be my next question. Is how much of that is us meeting the wrong person compared to the energy that we're giving off, maybe attracting the wrong person?
Yeah, I think everything is energy, really, isn't it? And I think that as soon as we start to take responsibility for our own actions and the choices we make, I wanted to create a book that, was empowering for women. I wanted to create a safe space for women to share their stories where they could laugh, but self-discover, most importantly. I felt that there were so many books out there, I don't know if you feel me, that so many books out there, tell women how to be, what to say, how to behave, what to wear in order to get a man, but nothing that kind of told us, about the power of forgiveness, letting go of the past, really establishing our knowing what our values are, the power of intention, the power of spoken word. So I think that a lot of it is energy. If you have a limiting belief system that you're unworthy, for example, you're going to attract that which is on that same vibration of you. You're going to attract people that believe that. If you have a limiting belief system that you are going to get into a relationship and be abandoned because of whatever happened to you in your childhood, you're giving off that energy, and therefore you attract that which is going to complement that belief system.
Yes.
So it's not just about, reading a book and, hey, I've got to act like this and I've got to be positive. It's like, no, we've got to unpick some things that are going on and to redirect the path that we really want to go on to, really. It's about owning, our own position and choices that we make. Everything is a choice, really.
So it sounds to me like this book isn't just, there's a difference. I like to say this all the time. There's a difference between a thermostat and a thermometer. A thermometer is just going to give us the temperature, but a thermostat is going to adjust. So not only is it going to give us the temperature, but it's going to adjust to either cool us off or to warm us up, depending on where we are. So it sounds like this book is more of a thermostat than a thermometer. It's not just making fun of the men that we meet. It's actually reclaiming our power, helping us to change our energy so we can attract the right people. Is that correct?
That's right. And I know that, when it first came out, Mr. Wrong, I mean, obviously it's a controversial title. A lot of men were like, what about straight away, defensive? What about Mrs. Wrong? What about Mrs. Wrong? What have you done wrong? Why are you being battered? But actually, when you open it up, it's about, yes, there are stories of, Mr. Dreamer, for example, the guy that kind of comes in to your life and gives you hearts and flowers, tells you they love you far too soon, gives you all the kind of fancy words, but then after 3 months it's gone. You've got characters like that, but it's not about berating them. It's about exploring them. It's about having fun with it and learning from, the choices we've made and the relationships we've had. Like, I love every single person that I've been with, because they've taught me something about myself, and I wouldn't be this person that I am without them. So I'm absolutely appreciative of my journey. So yeah, thermostats, I like that.
So now you mentioned people have been saying, what about a Mrs. Wrong? Do you think there would be a part 2 of Mrs. Wrong type book?
I can't hear the question, sorry about that.
I said, do you think that there will be a part 2 to this book? Maybe a Mrs. Wrong?
So I think,
can you hear me?
just, there's a lot of kind of background noise, echoey, yep.
Okay, I asked, do you think there would be a Mrs. Wrong?
A Mrs. Wrong?
Yes. Do you think you would do another book?
No, yeah, everyone keeps saying, where's Mr. Right? No, I'm in a happy relationship now. And actually, kind of going on this journey, it's made me realise, you're smiling, it's made me realise actually it's not about Mr. Wrong, it's not about Mrs. Wrong or Mr. Right or Mrs. Right. Actually, it's about being the right person for yourself. I think, this is where I was at the time, having experienced a decade of dating disasters. I wanted to create fun, but powerful, that we can, a place where we can share our stories and look within. But I think now I'm kind of at a stage where, every relationship has its trials and tribulations, every relationship has its ups and downs, and it's about understanding who you are firstly as a person.
Right.
Getting rid of as much baggage as you can, so you can actually be the best person for that relationship. So it'd be great to have a Mrs. Wrong book or a Mr. Right book, but I'm journalist. I'm still discovering relationships and love is so much deeper than wrong, right, yes, no, good,
Yes.
bad, and so that's where I'm at the moment.
I think you're absolutely right. And the thing is, maybe somebody's Mr. Wrong could be somebody else's Mr. Right. We have to know
Exactly.
where we want
I
to
saw
be. I'm sorry?
I saw a meme today, and it said something along the lines of not that you want to change everyone, but every
Wait.
man will change. and every
Danny,
man
I'm
can
sorry.
change.
I don't mean
But
to
it's
cut you
about-
off, but can you turn your computer down a little bit? 'Cause I think we can hear it through the speakers. Your computer? Do you have the show playing?
Is that me?
Yeah, we hear your show playing. Can we? I think.
Is that me or the person in the studio? Because I'm
No.
on my phone.
Okay. Do you have the show? Do you have your volume turned up on your show?
On my phone, let me have a look.
Okay. Can you hear us now?
Okay, I turned it down a bit, but
Okay.
it
Well, no,
sounds a bit
that's better. Don't
distorted.
worry. Don't worry. We can. That's better. Okay. So what I was. For some reason, I got something in my throat. Okay. What I was asking though, in fact, what I was really going to ask is that I had always wanted to write a blog called "The Men Who Keep Us Single," and many times the men that keep us single, they may be our Mr. Wrong, but somebody else is Mr. Right. So, I mean, I think that the people in the book may not be all bad. They just may be wrong for us, but it doesn't mean that they won't be right for someone else. Do you think?
Yeah, and it also depends on what stage you are. You're at in life. There's a men's section in the book, chapter 12, and one of the stories is called "Mr. Juma Speaks Out," and he says he's a great friend, and he says he's a Mr. Dreamer. This is my character. He says that he goes into relationships, he gives it his all. He wants to do well. He wants to be the best man possible, and he says the way he describes it is he kind of goes all out, hearts, flowers, I love you, everything. Then after 3 months, you kind of get into that the kind of day-to-day thing, getting to know someone on a deeper level, and he just says it's too much for him, so he has to find a way to escape or an exit route out. And I think that number one, sometimes this can be people's nature, but number two, it might just be that's the stage you're at in your life. So, and it's about, like you said, it definitely is about meeting the right person. Once you meet that person who and it's not even, love at first sight. Oh, I'm going to change for this person. This person's amazing. It's about finding someone that you can grow with and evolve with, essentially, and also have a really good friendship with and a solid foundation. Yes. So I think that, really it's about finding someone that you're compatible with.
Yes. So now, you've taken this book, and this is not just a book. You also have a publishing company.
Yes, I do. Yes.
So, what's the name of the publishing company?
So the publishing company is called Conscious Dreams Publishing. We have been going for about 2 years now. We've had an amazing 12 months. 12 months has been the kind of time where we've really just been going for it. And most of the books you can see here on the shelf have been published by Conscious Dreams Publishing.
That is amazing.
We provide bespoke publishing and mentoring services, mainly for women, with powerful messages and stories to share with the world. We mentor them through the process, and we make sure that they are empowered through that journey. And I absolutely love what I do. I believe that everyone has a unique story and a journey, and we're very much about helping women to get those stories out there into a global market.
So all of the people who are published under Conscious Dreams are women. So this is an all women company.
It's very women centered, but we have published books for men. For example, there's a book here called Words from My Heart, written by a young man in Birmingham. It's poetry based on sort of love and relationships. There's another book called 101 Lessons I Taught My Son, Paul Lawrence. Again, this is a book written from a father's perspective, offering life lessons to his son. So although we are very much concerned with writing, creating work that and educates women. It's anything really that is uplifting. There's two different things you can do with Conscious Dreams Publishing. If you publish under Conscious Dreams Publishing, then our ethos is very much, our audience is very much women. But we also mentor people through the process of actually setting up their own publishing brand. So not publishing company, publishing brand. And they can publish, by using their own ISBNs, which is the 13th digit on the back of a book. We can mentor them through the process of actually setting it up and self-publishing. So they would then just pay for our services. So we're mentoring and publishing. We're mainly women-centered, but yeah, it really just depends on the type of book as well.
Awesome. And just to mention that one of the guests that we had last week, Usha, is one of your clients.
Yes. Awesome. Where's her book? Here it is. Oh, on my shelf. So her book is called Your Happy Child. She attended a workshop, a 6-week workshop called The Power of Your Story. And she attended the workshop in March. She's amazing. She's been trying to publish this book for 2 years. As you know, she's like an adult and child psychotherapist and is passionate about, helping parents and guardians and teachers to raise happy children. And we mentored her through the process of actually publishing under her own feeling and in association with Conscious Dreams Publishing. And her launch is actually tomorrow.
Awesome. And you're going to be at that launch, I'm quite sure.
Of course, most definitely. Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
Okay, now you also mentioned that you do something else. You also do workshops.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, the workshop is called The Power of Your Story. It's in London. Well, obviously, I'm in the UK, so it's in London. 6 weeks. Each week focuses on a different aspect of the self-publishing process. So, for example, the first week is all about finding your why, your message, your market.
Yes.
We've got PR experts come down teaching you how to get your book in the press. We look at how to structure and edit your book. What else? We've got a live streaming workshop. We've got my partner who's a business mentor, showing the women how to set objectives and goals for their book. We also have a free 90-day accountability package at the end of that 6 weeks. And like Usha, who did all of this, at the end of all of that, she then came to work with us one-to-one mentoring, and here is her book. So
fabulous. So she actually started this workshop. She actually started going to this workshop, and then a product of her workshop was this book, Your Happy Child.
That's right, yes.
Wonderful. Yes. That is awesome. So, I mean, that's amazing that in just 2 years, Conscious Dreams has been able to publish so many books. You started workshops, and here you are doing international interviews.
I know, at 1 in the morning.
That is fabulous. But you know what?
I love it.
Just think about how many American people are going to go buy this book, because we actually have a question from one of our American viewers. And I think we actually asked you this, but I wanted to make sure. She asked, did you date several Mr. Wrongs and now having a Mr. Right? Is that what led you to write the book?
Is that, what was the last bit?
She asked, did you date several Mr. Wrongs, and now that you have a Mr. Right, is that what led you to write the book?
I wrote the book before I met him, actually. What I did is I wrote this, it was published in 2014. And then at that point, I decided, you know what, I just want to take a year out. And it's the best thing I ever did. A year out, no dating, nothing, just being with me, getting myself back. I actually worked through some of the exercises in this. I have a Mr. Wrong workbook as well, and I worked through those exercises. I'm very much about personal development, self-development. I said, you know what, I need to take time and get to know me again, learn how to love me, understand who I am, what my boundaries are, what I will and won't tolerate, what my needs, wants, and desires are. So I really just took that year out, wasn't with anyone at all. And then it was when I kind of worked on my mind and worked on myself that, the right person for me came into my life. So, yeah, now everyone's saying, are you going to write Mr. Right?
So what is next for you?
What's next? Wow, good question. Publishing more books. What's next? I've got an online course. It's a mini online course at the moment on Udemy. Can I throw out the website, or should I put it on the Facebook?
No, you can talk about the website.
Okay, it's www.tinyurl.com.
Danny?
Side who the parent, you're not based in London and you can't do it one-to-one. So it's 7 proven steps to self-publishing. I'm planning then to take that over to a bigger site in the new year. It's a sample of the full membership. So anyone who buys it now can get £20 off or $20 off. It's $90 at the moment. Let me know, it's $90 at the moment.
Well, now, Danny,
$20 discount. If
Danny, I gotta stop you real quick. Because a pound is not the same as a dollar. I spent 5 years in Europe, and that pound hurts my feelings.
I know.
So we have to talk about that now. If it's a £20 discount, that's like a $35 discount for us.
But I mean, yeah. But I think the platform translates it exactly, £20, $20. I don't know why. But anyway, you can discount using the code CDP, capital letters, 2017. So I'm planning anyone who purchases this will then get full access to the full course in the new year. Okay. But what really is up for us next is the bigger dream is what I'd love to do is have a global conference where we get all the women together. I want to, I've published internationally. I've published women from Dubai, South Africa, but I'd like to, create those. This is the bigger vision, create links all over the world. Hear from the woman in Yemen who's fighting child marriage. Yes. I want to hear from advocates all over the world raising awareness about subjects that are particular to that particular country and society, and have a global conference where these stories and messages are shared and heard. So it's about giving women that platform really and uniting us together. Well,
I'm just going to throw my hat in the ring that when you're ready to start bringing in guest speakers, holla at your girl.
That's right.
Just let me know.
But I will, most definitely, Ronda. I shall let you know. When's your book coming?
Well, I've already have 5 novels out, but I do plan to write another book. I just actually finished my dissertation, and I'm concentrating on, just keeping Meet the World Image Solutions out there. But yes, there is another book coming out. Probably in the next few months, I will go ahead and start my next work of fiction. So I haven't totally left writing. I mean, writing is still my baby.
Okay. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I look forward to that.
Well, thank you. Now, we do have about a minute left before we have to end the interview. But I would like, because you've been able to accomplish so much, and there are a lot of people out here in the United States who have started their own publishing companies, and they have actually published other authors, but they're still trying to get to that next level. And I think many people are still trying to accomplish as much as you've been able to accomplish in 2 years. So my question to you is, what advice do you give someone out there who's trying to maybe gain exposure for their business or their publishing company, who might be trying to get to that next level with their company? What advice do you give them? Because you're not just in London anymore. You're now international because you've been able to publish women in other countries. So what did you do? That's right.
So you're saying, what advice would you give to people who have a publishing company specifically, right, and want to go global?
Right. Maybe either go global, or maybe even just go to the next level where they are now.
The next level, I mean, the first thing really is to have passion, dedication, and having a clear vision, knowing where you want to go. As we say, we're new. We've got so much more learning and growing to do, most definitely. But it's about, attracting those people who resonate with that passion, not being afraid to step out, contacting retailers abroad, contacting retailers here, creating strong links and relationships. Live streaming is a really powerful way of getting your message out there and connecting with people. I get a lot of clients do live streaming. I never used to do that. 12 months ago, you're mad. I'm not live streaming for anyone, but I'm finding putting lots of value and content out there, giving more than you're taking, and just getting yourself out there, really. And that's what's worked for me. If I had the magical formula about, how to, global domination, I'll definitely let you know. But, I'm still learning. I'm at, baby steps getting there.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations on all of your success. And I will be praying that you have even more success because you are definitely on the right track. And I'm very honored for you to be here today on Meet the World Image Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. Being up at 1:30 in the morning just to talk to little old us.
Wow.
All right. But unfortunately, we have to end the interview. But thank you once again for joining us tonight.
No problem.
And if anybody
Thank you so
wants
much
to
for
find
having
you,
me.
what can you tell them the email address again? You can also put it into the comments. So
Okay, so my website is www.consciousdreamspublishing.com, CONSCIOUS, dreamspublishing.com. Email address is info@consciousdreamspublishing.com. I'm offering 3 30-minute phone consultations. So just if you head over to my website or drop me an email, you can book a free 30-minute consultation and we can discuss your book and your journey further.
wonderful. All right. Thank you so much. Now you get some rest. You have a big day tomorrow.
I know. Take care, Rhonda. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Have a wonderful night.
Bye.
Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and
Bye-bye.
take a commercial break. And when we get back, we will be talking with Dewey Reynolds.
Are you a member of Bedside Baptist? Well, now you can join Bethesda House of Prayer every Sunday for our live broadcast. It starts at approximately 9:45 every Sunday morning. Just go to NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com and click play. We can't wait for you to join us from your home. And don't forget, if you want to join us live and in person, service starts for 9 a.m. and we are located at 7601 West Lake Expressway, Marrero, Louisiana 70072, Suite C.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on the Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
Join in on Mondays from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. for Breaking the Silence with Dr. Patricia Fry. There are no limitations or boundaries. We talk about life, and guess what? That includes you. So download the app today, New Orleans Talk Network, and subscribe on YouTube. That's every Monday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. New Orleans Talk Network, Breaking the Silence with Dr. Patricia Fry.
What is New Orleans Talk Network? It's today's hottest topics with an added flair. You get ready because the conversation will be hot and better yet, mobile. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app available on Android, iPhone, iPad, and you can listen to us on the web at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com. Write down our talk line at 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255. Interactive and worldwide. That's what we are. Join in on the real conversation and tell a friend about the New Orleans Talk Network.
Hello, can you hear me? How are you today? I'm great. I make sure my audio is up to par here.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think we're on, and I'm sitting here playing with tickets. All right, I'm okay. Everybody can see me. If you can see me, these are the raffle tickets that I went live about a little earlier. We are going to be pulling the winner pretty soon. So once again, I want to thank everyone who participated in the raffle. And as you can see, we had a lot of participants. But right now, we're going to get to Mr. Dewey Reynolds because he has this crazy story to tell that I just really can't wait to hear all about. So I'm going to go ahead and leave these tickets alone for a minute, and let's jump into this story. So first of all, Dewey, how you doing tonight?
Okay, what was the question?
I said, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I want to thank you for joining us tonight on Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. When I saw your story, I was like, whoa. I mean, can you tell us a little something about it? I told people there were some plot twists with your story.
Okay, what was the question again?
I told people there were some plot twists with your story.
Oh yeah, did you say plot twist?
Yes.
Yeah, it's quite a phenomenal story, it really is. The title of my book is called Two Shades of Vice, based on the true story of an interracial couple's life together in crime, and it's about my mother and father's being together during the early 1960s here in Kansas City, who were involved in many facets of crime. So there's a lot of ground to cover in this story. There's a lot of territory. There's a lot of things that goes on in this story.
Yeah. Now, the first thing I need to ask is, how did your family feel about you writing this type of story about what many people would think of as family secrets?
Wow, I've been asked the same question before. Well, first of all, my mother and father are passed on, so of course I have an older brother and an older sister. They're okay with it. They felt like it was a story that needed to be told. Some may look at it as though you're airing out your dirty laundry, but I don't see it that way. I think it's a great story, and it's something that I think it would be really a shame to just let it just set idly by and not be told, because it's so rare and unique and different. It's something that I believe that most people had never heard before, a story of its caliber.
I definitely agree, because when we hear stories about interracial relationships, especially back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, we many times romanticize them. We think of them as two people who loved each other, who were fighting to be together and loving each other against all odds, which I'm quite sure your parents did. But this was not just any regular love story.
No, it's kind of unorthodox, as we would say. Well, like I said, first of all, they were criminals. And when they met, they were both heavily involved in that criminal lifestyle. Of course, my mother was out on the street soliciting, petty theft, cashing forgery checks and all that. And then my father was into everything. I mean, drugs, prostitution, bootlegging whiskey, contraband cigarettes, robbery, hijacking, you name it. He was into everything. And they came together. And he was 26 years older than she was, but they had come together and they knew that they could make money together in crime. But as they got to know one another, they started to have a bond, and eventually they would fall in love. I mean, even though he was 26 years older than she was.
So I'm picturing a couple of different things. I mean, I'm picturing with this couple being together and living the life that they lived, they were never really sure what was going on when they saw the police. They didn't know if the police were after them because they were criminals or if the police were after them because they were together.
Well, a little bit of both. I mean, they got confronted a lot by law enforcement locally here in Kansas City. And I think the law was infuriated, like I said, mainly because they were an interracial couple, and they were also operating a body house together. Now, in this body house is where, because at my father's height, he had like 6 women on the streets for him. Wow. I mean, this is all documented in police reports. And he was a pimp, he was a procurer, and this body house, they sold drugs, they sold whiskey, they sold beer, they had gambling in there, they had prostitution, you name it. And the cops felt as though that was an affront to them. That was like a slap in the face. Then, like, first of all, you don't care about being an interracial couple, even though it's been outlawed. And second of all, you're going to be criminals together. You're banded together, or you join together as criminals. So that's like double jeopardy to them.
Yes.
That's like a double-edged sword, and they didn't like it. But see, my mother and father pretty much made their own rules. They lived on the edge, and they lived by their own rules.
Definitely. I mean, I think that what they did is probably the dictionary definition of living by their own rules.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, they didn't care. Because they got confronted not only by police officers, police captains, or people that were involved in the police department, but also just people that were very racist, even black people too, that disapproved of interracial, because here you have this white man and you have this black woman at a time when it was taboo. So, it was kind of like people were like, okay, that it's against the law, it's unfashionable, so therefore you're going to do it anyway, and you're just going to be out in public as though nothing is wrong. And of course, during that time, almost like the story of the Loving couple, you had the anti-miscegenation laws that were in full effect.
Yes.
So actually, to cohabitate as an interracial couple or be involved in sexual relations was against the law. They knew that, but they still didn't care. They did it anyway.
Mm-hmm. So how did they, I'm sure that they had some protective measures, so to speak, in place. I mean, did they kind of feel like they were never safe? Do you hear me, Dewey? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, I was saying, did they ever feel safe?
No. They knew that they had to contend with the law. They had to contend with white supremacists because, they were surrounded by a lot of people, within that region. There were white supremacists.
Yes.
And as a matter of fact, as I mentioned in my book, there's an episode, as my mother explained to me long before she died, when she would tell me the stories about her and my father's life together, was that they actually had a confrontation with a chapter of the Ku Klux Klan that was like 30 miles outside of Kansas City. So their lives were in danger. Oh yeah, and they knew that.
Yes.
And they did receive death threats, and they had cops, threatening to come in and do harm to them, and they had white supremacists just walk up and tell them, okay, what are you all being together when you shouldn't be together?
Right.
And things will happen to you if you're not careful. So they were giving constant warnings about that. But again, I'll say it again, they didn't care.
And they definitely didn't, but they overcame. They went on to have 3 children?
Yeah, well, my older brother and older sister have a different father.
Okay.
But my father and my mother had me. So, my mother had 3 children. He had me, and then he had other children from previous relationships.
I see. And did they ever really leave the life of crime?
Did they ever do what?
Did they ever leave their life of crime?
You say leave their life behind?
Did they ever leave their life of crime? Did they ever stop?
Yeah, they did eventually. 6 months after I was born, me, my brother, and my sister were put in foster care. But they were still, even after that, after they had abandoned us, they were still leading a life of crime. But eventually, vice would kick in on them and find the drugs and find the whiskey and find the whores in there with their tricks and all that.
Yes.
So they put them in jail for about 3 years. Each one of them did about 3 years apiece. And then they got out and they got back together and got married. And I did not meet my father for the first time until I was like almost 13. And then I met my mother, and I got to know her very well, but long before she died. So, they had abandoned us because of the fact that they wanted to continue on living their life of crime and not be parents. But they didn't want to raise their children, so they chose to abandon us and keep doing what they were doing. But like I said, eventually it came to an end when vice kicked in on them and found all their drugs and stolen goods and whiskey and beer and prostitutes, you just name it. they found all of that at the same time.
Wow. Wow. That is an extraordinary story. And I commend you because I'm sure that could not have been easy to learn so much about your family while you were trying to write the story. You felt very close to it.
Yeah.
So,
say again, how did I do what?
I said that this was probably a challenge for you because as you're writing this story, you're finding out so much more about your family, and so you were very close to the material that you were writing.
Oh, absolutely, because the story was written from police reports, criminal rap sheets, and just eyewitness accounts, because I've actually talked to older people out on the streets that knew my mother and father. They're either dead now or they probably in their 70s or 80s, because but my father, he was born in 1905. My mother was born in 1931. But she would tell me stories about their life together, and they were quite fascinating stories too. So I took the information I got from police reports, was probably over 100 pages from microfilm from the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department, as well as both of their criminal rap sheets and information that she had given me. So I brought all that together to comprise a book, which I think is really a very powerful story. I am really proud of this story.
And you definitely should be. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we get back, I want to learn a little bit more about you as the author and what you have planned next. So we'll be right back. Don't leave us. Stay right there. And we're going to talk a little bit more with Mr. Dewey Reynolds. So we'll be right back.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
What's up, readers and shakers? It's your girl, Rhonda M. Lawson, sending you a personal invite to the Literary Lounge. Tune in to Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the best in literary conversation. Each week, a different author will join us to talk to their most important readers, you. You can also call in to ask your own questions. So don't forget, each Wednesday at 7 p.m., join us in the lounge for Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. See you there.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 West Bank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 772. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
There's soul food, and then there's food for the soul. At a time where we live to eat, the Praline Connection restaurant serves up recipes that reach back into days long gone. You know, the kind of meals your mama cooked up for Sunday dinner. Fried chicken with macaroni and cheese and candied yams, homemade meatloaf with garlic mashed potatoes and string beans, or Nolan's filet gumbo. That's the real soul you get only at the Praline Connection restaurant, located at the Kona, Chalmers and Frenchman Street in the Marinade.
I am still with you.
Yay! All right, so talk to me about Dewey Reynolds, the author. What is your platform? Are you strictly a nonfiction writer?
Excuse me, what was the question again?
Are you strictly a nonfiction writer?
No, I write other material. I write a little bit of fantasy and I have a thriller book I wrote called Brush Creek Charlie about a serial killer right here locally, and that's a very, very powerful story. Oh yeah.
Oh, tell me about that one.
Huh?
Tell me about that one.
About Brush Creek Charlie?
Yes.
A story about a shell-shocked Vietnam War veteran who has a hatred towards women, and he has a disdain for women, and he's been known to I guess you could say like other serial killers would do. He would lure women in, and he would kill them and dismember their bodies and put them in trash bags and throw them in the creek. And he's very demented in the mind. He's shell shocked. The war really messed his mind up, and because of that he has post traumatic stress disorder. So he goes on this killing spree until the law finally catches up with him. But it's a very good story, though.
Wow. What made you decide to do this type of writing? What made you decide to do this type of writing?
As far as like which project are you talking about?
Well, you have your true crime novel about your parents, and then you have the serial killer novel, which is a work of fiction. So I'm saying, what made you decide to pursue this type of writing? I mean, some people write mysteries. Some people write about love and relationships. You chose to write about crime, basically. So why did you decide to go that route?
Well, I do a lot of research, and here in Kansas City, we've had our share of these cycles or these nuts, as we would say, over the years. And I have several stories of true life stories about serial killers right here in Kansas City. So I kind of feel as though I kind of had enough material to kind of write my own version or put my different spin on a story that deals with a serial killer, because, for example, back in the 1970s here in Kansas City, they were finding women in the Missouri River with their arms amputated, legs amputated, and that went on for like a couple of years. They must have found 13 women altogether in the Missouri River, where some serial killer had abducted them and dismembered or amputated their arms and legs. And I thought that was a quite interesting story. And I kind of said, I think I could write a story, around that, or other stories too, talking about a specific serial killer in this part of the country, in this region. So that's where I got the inspiration from to do that.
So is this the style of writing that you're going to continue to write?
Oh yeah, I would love to. Oh yeah, I would. Because there's just so much more writing I want to do. I mean, I'm still a young man, so I feel like I got a lot more to write about.
Yes, I think it's welcome, because there are many romance writers and love story writers, contemporary fiction type writers, but to have some new crime novels out there. So, we don't always have to go look for the Dan Browns or the James Patterson books. We have authors like yourself who are right here, who we could be supporting, and we can make you the next, let's say Stephen King, or we can make you the next Dan Brown.
Very nice of you. Yes, I would appreciate that. Would be very nice.
But that's what Horizons is all about. It's not just about celebrating all the people who have made it, so to speak. But what about the people, the stars that we can create ourselves when we support our authors who are right here? I mean, you have 2 outstanding novels that you just told me about that I'm quite sure could be very well received in movie theaters. So why not support these books?
Yes. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Because I believe these are great stories. I think that people will grab a hold to it. They will get so much out of it. I mean, from just reading, especially the story about my mother and father, the 2 Shades of Vice, because this story, like I said, there's so much originality in this story. I mean, because what we see now in literature and in movies and all that, you don't see too much originality anymore.
Right.
So this story just brings something totally different. It offers something that probably most people had never even heard of before.
I would never have believed it. Like I said, I mean, normally when we hear about interracial love stories, we romanticize it. It's them against the world. It's them fighting to be together. And these are two people who are basically on the wrong side of the law. Yes, they found love, but it's a type of story that we don't expect to associate with a love story. So, I mean, I think it's awesome, and I wish you all the best with the story. I definitely want to read it. But what else what's next for you?
Huh?
What's next for you?
I kind of like paranormal stories. I would love to go into like because I'm kind of like toying around with a paranormal, so like the spiritual world and what goes on in that other dimension as far as like the spiritual world meeting up with like the physical world. So
yes.
I kind of got a story right now that I think that has that type of a material where it kind of like where the spirit world meets up with the physical world. So I kind of moving into like a paranormal story.
Yes. Okay. I see you, and I'm all for it. That's what I'm talking about. So it sounds like you have not written yourself in a box, which I think is another wonderful message for the future writers who may be listening to this interview. You don't have to write just one genre.
Oh, no. I believe that, the writers from the past, their advice to those that would come behind them is like, don't limit yourself or just because first of all, I'm an avid reader. I love to read. I do a lot of reading, and through reading, you always coming up with new ideas or different ways you can create your own material.
That's the
and
way
write
I started.
your own book and everything. So like you said, don't limit yourself. I mean, some people only write thrillers, some people only write romance, some people only write sci-fi, but truly great writers are people that pretty much want to expand their horizons. They want to write about I guess what I'm trying to say in so many words is you have to write about what you're passionate about.
Yes.
What moves you. See, the trap that so many people fall into is they're going to write about what is selling at the time, whatever is a hot topic. Like, oh, thrillers are selling, so I think I'm going to write a thriller because I think I'll be able to cash in on that.
You're absolutely right.
True writers are people that write what they're passionate about. And if you're going to receive the rewards, then you're going to receive them. But don't write about what's hot right now, what's selling, because I guarantee you won't have no type of writing career. You won't go too far. I don't think you will.
No, you're absolutely right. That's why after Zane, we got an influx of Zane is a wonderful erotica writer, but then everybody wanted to be the next Zane. So we got an influx of erotica books. And then we had an influx of street fiction books. And then what I haven't seen, and maybe because it's a little bit more of a challenge, I have not seen an influx of murder mysteries. I have seen an influx of romance stories. So I would love to see more murder mysteries out there, or just a mystery in general. It doesn't even have to be a murder mystery, or more true crime novels like what you've tackled. I would love to see more books like that.
Yes.
Well, continue doing what you're doing. Congratulations to you. So we have to go ahead and end the interview, but I do want to know, let my readers know, or let my listeners know where they can find your books. How can people find you?
Okay, well, one way is Amazon.com. You go there, you type in my name, or either you can type in 2 Shades of Vice. Of course, this is the book right here. This is it right here, 2 Shades of Vice, based on the true story of an interracial couple's life. Or you can go to my website at www.deweyreynoldsbooks.com. That's www.deweyreynoldsbooks.com, and you can find out everything about me and about my books too.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much once again for joining us. And
thank you for having me.
It's about time for us to go ahead and pull this raffle. And Miss Beautiful Lawson has been trying to call in, so hopefully she'll be able to get through. But she wanted to send a message to everybody who supported her. But in the meantime, it's time to pull this raffle. And so, let's see. Let's try to get Beautiful back on the phone. And then we're going to ask our producer, Tarek, to come in and help us to pull a winner of the raffle, because I'm not pulling this myself. Too many people bought tickets from me, and they're all, make sure I win, make sure I win. So I'm not touching these tickets. All I'm doing is mixing these tickets up, and I'm going to have somebody else pull the tickets, because y'all not about to get on me. If y'all want to blame somebody, you can blame Tarek, and Tarek doesn't care if you get mad at him. So there. You ready, T? He's coming. Okay. Beautiful, are you there?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so Tarek is coming in. We have Miss Beautiful Lawson on the phone. Beautiful, is there anything you'd like to say to everybody?
Yes, I would like to say that I am really thankful for everyone who donated whatever they had to my pageant to help me win. I'm really happy that so many people are behind me supporting this, and I'm glad to know that I have so many people behind my back.
Amen to that. So we're about to pull the winner, Beautiful. All these people who bought raffle tickets to support you, all those people you accosted at the bowling alley and at Dillard University. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We just pulled a winner, and it is on Tarek's forehead.
Who is that?
Anthony Allen won the tickets. Ticket number 0211.
Congratulations.
$5, Anthony. You owe me $5.
So, everybody, that is Miss Beautiful Lawson, who is on the phone right now. Yes, AA stands for Anthony Allen. He bought 25 tickets, so I guess that's how he won those tickets. So, thank you to everybody who participated, and congratulations to Mr. Anthony Allen for winning the 2 tickets to see the Saints play the Panthers. And thank you, Beautiful Lawson, for calling in tonight. I hope you were able to catch some of the show. Were you able to catch some of the show, Miss Beautiful Lawson?
A little bit.
Okay, she caught a little bit. That's cool. And we also want to thank Mr. Dewey Reynolds for joining us, and to Daniela Bleckner, who joined us all the way from the United Kingdom. I told you this was going to be a huge show, so thank you so much for everything. You have a wonderful night. Have a fabulous week and a great weekend, and we will see you next week right here on Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. Good night. Readers and Shakers, it's your girl, Rhonda M. Lawson, sending you a personal invite to the Literary Lounge. Tune in to Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the best in literary conversation. Each week, a different author will join us to talk to their most important readers, you. You can also call in to ask your own questions. So don't forget, each Wednesday at 7 p.m., join us in the lounge for Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. See you there.
Hi, I'm Linda Lewis with Louis Armstrong Family Services here live at New Orleans Talk Network. We're here every Thursday at 11 a.m. Come join us. Thank you.